A growing nation in the heart of the Middle East, Jordan is an emerging economy undergoing a period of reform and building itself into global supply chains. It has more free trade agreements than any other country in the Arab world, and the apparel industry is now one of its main industrial sectors. The sector represents almost a third of Jordan's total exports and employs more than 43,000 workers. Exports to the US alone approach $1 billion. The apparel industry's rapid success in Jordan is not only interesting for the Jordanian economy and the world's largest buyers of clothing, it has also become a magnet for migrant workers. 2/3 of workers like these come from places as far away as China, India and Sri Lanka to earn a living and support their families back home. Guest workers are a distinct link in the global supply chain here. But rapid economic development creates conditions that can challenge even the most basic labour standards. Phil Fishman is the head of Better Work Jordan. Established in 2007, it's already running its unique programs in a quarter of the country's garment factories.
A few years ago, there was some controversy over conditions in the factories. The Ministry of Labor developed a plan to improve labor standards in the factory, and a major part of that plan was to ask the ILO to come here to both monitor labor standards but also to work with factories to improve them. Unlike most other countries, most of the workers in the apparel sector here come from other countries. They're guest workers who come to Jordan just for the purpose of working in the apparel sector for a period of 3 up to 5 years.
I've been working here for several years now, and I plan to stay for 2 more years to save money for the house I'm building in my home country. After I finish building my house, I want to go back and be happy with my family.
That creates a unique set of issues for these workers and a certain kind of vulnerability that they face that you don't often find in many other countries. These workers come to a country where they often don't speak the language, they have a different ethnic background, they have a different religion, and they're here for one purpose, and that's to make money. Money that they can send back to their families to help their families survive. So they're very vulnerable to exploitation. They are fearful of being sent back to their home country, thereby losing their income, so they're hesitant to complain or to raise issues. And their desire to get out of debt and to help their families puts them in a position where they're willing to tolerate treatment that most of us probably wouldn't tolerate.
By improving labour standards and competitiveness, the industry will also become a better place for Jordanian workers.
I wish for the factory to develop more and for more Jordanians to leave unemployment and join the staff.
I would like it if more Jordanians come to work here. It would be a great opportunity for them to develop their skills and improve their financial status.
From the point of view of Jordanian workers, it creates some pressure on them because they are often told that guest workers are willing to work 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, 16 hours a day, and the Jordanians are asked why they're not willing to work that many hours.
There is growing evidence that better labour standards go hand in hand with better business. One of the country's garment businesses is Malaban. It spotted the commercial opportunity in Jordan and understood that its responsibilities to its workers extended beyond offering jobs.
Malaban looked at different countries to make investments in their globalization process, and they did due diligence in many countries, and Jordan came best out of the lot. Now the factories realize that for them to discipline themselves and also to deliver a better relationship between the employer and the employee, Better Work Jordan can play a very important role.
The programme's success, like all Better Work programmes, is dependent on its ability to build long-standing working relationships with different, sometimes competing interests.
Our union is supportive of Better Work Jordan since it provides the groundwork for what we do. It paves the way for us to have a higher reach in the factories and helps improve workers' conditions and productivity. The union and BWJ are working towards the same goals, since we both aim towards improving workers' conditions, help workers form unions and improve living standards.
The external view of a country's labour standards and the exposure of the world's largest buyers to criticism has become a major driving force for change.
The project is an important tool to the ministry to ensure compliance in these areas and to ensure adherence to the labour law. It also helps ensuring that we are in compliance with the international labour standard.
A groundbreaking part of Better Work's programme is to facilitate better representation in factories. Workers now have the opportunity to independently elect their colleagues who will represent their issues to the factory management with the support of their union.
Workers and the factories, the factory owners, they are part of the process. It is for the benefits of workers to have such a program in Jordan. So the workers actually are involved in the process. They elect workers to participate in the process of the assessment.
For many workers here, it is the first democratic opportunity in which they've participated, the first introduction to the idea that they have some control over their future.
When you say improving labor standards, what you really are saying is improving people's lives. If labor standards here can be improved, then you could actually see measurable improvement in their daily lives. You can see them being a little more happy. You can see them being able to send a little more money home to their families. You can see them working in slightly safer conditions. You can see them all of a sudden feeling some hope that they can improve their lives. And all this is very exciting, and at the end of the day, that's what we're all about.
There is a lot of optimism about Better Work's potential, and following the successes of the last 18 months, there is a possibility that participation in Better Work will become obligatory for all garment factories.
During the last year, we see companies are accepting to join Better Work, and internally they are developing themselves. And I believe, apparel industry is an industry which is developing world over, and Better Work playing a partnership between the factories and with the buyers, it will grow from strength to strength.
Better Work believes that the success in the apparel industry could also be extended into other major industrial sectors.
Our hope would be that our coverage would be for the whole industry here in Jordan, and that our work together with our stakeholders will actually have a positive impact. So we have a plan to see if we could go beyond the apparel sector within the next year or two.
A commitment to improving labour standards along global supply chains is not a short-term task, but programmes like Better Work already show how much can be done with the right level of support.
On the part of all of our stakeholders, I think the support we've gotten from factories has been exciting. We've gotten consistent support from international buyers who buy garments that are made here. We work closely with the trade union, and the trade union is a key stakeholder of ours. And finally, the Jordanian government understands that the work we're doing is to the benefit of the country and to the benefit of its people. So we are so committed to Jordan because Jordan has been so committed to us.